as Christians, we are called to live differently. Just like you're saying, my identity isn't first in my race, my skin color, or anything like that. My identity is first in Christ. And this is why these ideas in the church are so harmful on either side. Because what I see in many of the Black circles is my race first. And until people succumb and understand my race first and have a race consciousness that supports my race, well, we can't vibe with you. We can't have deep conversations with you. You might be my brother or sister, but you my white brother or sister who's over there. Until you understand your power. I just saw Jemar Tisby, the guy who wrote The Color of Compromise, who was supporting a pastor who was on stage in the pulpit talking about we need to be speaking truth to power, talking to white people and letting them know about, their lived experience. And it's all about this truth to power situation. That isn't the road for the Christian.
No.
And I'm not saying that we can't use our voice in culture, but what I am saying is that my race doesn't come before my identity in Christ. And I don't need to speak truth to power just because you're white. I might need to speak truth to error, but the idea of truth to power, what about like we don't see that as a biblical concept?
It's not. It's like I said, is when you mix the black fist with the cross, or when you attempt to, this is what you get. And it is a bastardization of Christianity because it is seen through a lens of blackness, a lens through racial identity, a lens through lived experience. And Christianity or the Bible or Jesus is just a tool to liberate us from whatever oppression or whoever's oppressing us. That's all it is. When you go to churches like that, what they're trying to do is create activists, not evangelists. You're right. Yeah. They're not trying to tell anybody about Jesus. Their truth, their quote unquote truth to power is all about their blackness and their liberation. That's it. And what we're seeing is the other side is adopting that same type of mentality of their whiteness and their liberation because they're starting to identify themselves as being oppressed. They're starting, and the Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony stabbing, even though that's one incident, just like George Floyd was one incident, people look at that incident and go, well, look how many more black on white crimes there are versus white on black crimes. Like us white people are being terrorized by black people now. Austin Metcalf was just one. When are we going to protect our people? And that's the language you're starting to hear. And it's like, bro, I'd say you're no different than BLM. That's all you are. I'm hoping that hits home for them, but I will say this too. There are outside forces that are pushing a lot of this stuff to divide us. And when I mean outside forces, I'm talking about foreign countries, foreign governments on social media, pushing certain things, bot accounts, because they're using this race thing in America to put us against each other. And a lot of people just aren't aware of that. That is how you bring down this country. That's how you have to rip us apart from the inside. And that's what the communists have been trying to do that since the 1920s.
Hey, if you enjoyed this content, come check out the Center for Biblical Unity. Download our free ebook, Is Christianity a White Man's Religion? Click on the link in the description below.